Good afternoon, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Richard Scott with your FSU weather. Start things off, look at the viewer photo here out to our west. This was taken earlier this morning, really dark out west. Currently, it's 77 degrees. Thunderstorms, it feels like 78 degrees. Because of all that rain, the temperature is down a bit, and we have winds coming in at the south at 8 miles per hour. The satellite radar imagery, all these thunderstorms and showers are moving through the area. They start to dissipate, but they will be back. And flood alerts here. We have St. Mark's River, and we have flood warnings of St. Mark's River and right here in the south. And those waters will rise, so be careful and pay attention to that. 3-day forecast, 60% chance of rain tomorrow. And as we move into the weekend, it will decrease and those temperatures will rise. Headlines, wet pattern ending tomorrow. We have a high pressure that's coming in next week, and it will bring drier air with it. So the rain, okay, and here we go, the rainfall almanac. Rainfall almanac. Today, the almanac, this is the actual temperature, 77 degrees for the high, 73 degrees for the low for today, and the average this time is 92 degrees and 72 degrees for the low. And today, this is our average, this is our observed rainfall, 1.44 inches. And it's normally 0.26 inches. We have seen a lot more this time today than we have through the past month. 77 degrees, thunderstorms, like I said, 78 degrees as it feels like temperature when you add in the humidity, and south winds coming in at 8 miles per hour. Current temperatures, 76 at St. Mark's, 77 in Tallahassee, and as always, 81 degrees down in Apalachicola. They're a bit warmer down there near the water. And satellite radar imagery here. These thunderstorms and showers moving in off the Gulf, bringing in a lot of moisture. And flood alerts. Here we go. Here we go. Next 24 hours here. Seem to have some technical difficulties here. Hand it off to Dylan with our southeast.
Oh, thank you very much, Richard. We're going to take a look at the southeast, and things are a lot similar to what we've seen the last couple of days. We're seeing the similar pattern stick around here in Tallahassee, or around the southeast. You're seeing warmer temperatures on the western side and cooler temperatures on the eastern side, but a lot more rain on that side. It's drier out there, more moist over here. We're seeing the tale of two southeast, as all our meteorologists would say. Looking at 101 in El Paso right now. Keep that in mind as we go on later on. 94 in San Antonio, 95 in Houston. Just very, very warm out there. As we move farther east, though, you get 77 in Tallahassee, but it's not a cool 77. It's a moist, very heat, like a very uncomfortable 77. It's not a good 77. And as we look at Jacksonville, you do see some storms over there. Now looking at our dew points, though, that's where the moisture is. You see on the eastern part where those darker greens are, and where the dry air, where you see those whiter colors. You see the dry air on the western part over by Lubbock and El Paso, though this is the pattern that's going to continue with the next couple of days. Looking at our heat index, though, remember I said El Paso at 101 degrees. Well, their heat index temperature, 97 degrees, and you're thinking to yourself, why is the heat index temperature, the temperature what it feels like outside, cooler than the actual temperature? Well, it's just so dry out west that they're feeling like a dry heat, and it's not the sun that's really creating the heat, it's the dryness that's creating the heat outside. Over on the eastern part, we're really not seeing much of a heat index because we've actually been seeing a lot of rain and cooling in our area, but we do still have a lot of that moisture. Going into our winds, you do see this front kind of not as well defined as we've seen the last couple of days. You do see this kind of kink in the winds going out of two different directions, converging. That's that low, the stalled out front right now, going to dissipate for the next couple of days. And here it is. You have high pressure and clear skies on the western part over in Texas and Arkansas. And then on the eastern part, you're going to have more moisture and a lot of showers, a lot of rain over there. That's going to really continue. And we do have some flash flood watches in these darker greens. In the dark red, we have a flash flood warning. And these lighter greens are flood advisories. So those are going to continue. Ooh, one just popped up south of Atlanta. We did see some tornado warnings southeast of Atlanta earlier today, but those have since expired. And then looking at the next 24 hours, you do see this front really defined right now, but as we go into tonight, it crunches up just a bit and starts to fall apart. and you do see it dissipate. And then as we get back into tomorrow, you do see more of that popcorny kind of shower pattern that we've seen. But then on the eastern part, it's staying relatively clear, not much of a change there. High pressure really dominating that side. And this is we're going to still see above average rainfall, though, on the eastern part, where you're seeing a lot more popcorny showers. For tomorrow, clearer skies on the western part, another hot one for El Paso at 100 degrees. Lubbock, shout out to Lexi, 97 degrees, and not as clear skies as much of the eastern or the western part of the southeast, but the farther you go east, you do see a lot more showers over there. In Tallahassee, we're seeing a lot of rain. In Jacksonville, just that's where the rain's situated, but not as heavy as we saw today. A little more of an improvement, but still a rainy day for the eastern part of the southeast. Now let's take a look at what the National has in store for us. We're going to zoom out just a little bit. Now, Tallahassee might feel like Seattle because we've been seeing all this rain this last couple days, but it's not temperature-wise like Seattle. 66 degrees there, cloudy skies, the same icon we have here in Tallahassee at 77. Portland is seeing 68, and a lot of the west coast, not that bad, but then you go down to the Midwest, and that's when you're going to see a lot of that heat. You see these dark red colors really dominating, and then you have a lot of the rain, again, on the eastern part of the country. Boston seeing 91 degrees. That's a very hot day for folks in Boston. As we look at our dew points, it's the same kind of thing. Where that heat's located, you have the drier conditions, and where that moisture is located, you have a lot of rainy and a little cooler conditions, but not a good cool condition as well. Seeing 74 in Tallahassee, 71 in Atlanta for our dew point temperatures. Now looking at our wind speeds, it's really obvious where this front is. You do see these converging of the winds. It's easier to see than the southeast. Look, you do see this kind of like line of calm winds there, and then you have the converging of the two winds. But there's also another low pressure system over by Chicago. That's another frontal system that's making its way eastward. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. Then going into our satellite radar, here's that front. You see all this rain. It's just like a massive pool of rain stretching across the entire eastern part of the U.S. Behind that, though, is high pressure, and then behind that is another line of storms we're going to look at just a second. Zooming in just a bit, you see we had flash flood watches up and down all over this frontal system today. We had to have some severe storms southeast of Atlanta. 2 tornado warnings went out at the same time, so it's pretty interesting to see. But we're going to see this pattern continue for a little bit tonight, but then kind of calm down for the next couple of days. And then this is the other front we're talking about. You do have these nice line of storms really fired up. It's moving eastward to the Firestone Country Club, and also moving eastward and southeastward into Indianapolis, where the Colts are. And then farther behind that, you're going to see clearer conditions, still some upper level clouds, but not that intense rainfall that we've seen with this storm so far. Then going farther out west, you're going to see this monsoon season, these popcorny showers sticking around, and it's actually really helpful. You'd think rain's not that great. Well, they've been under a lot of drought conditions, and it's been very, very hot outside, so it's going to be a good improvement for them. And as we look, we actually do have some fire weather warning alerts for the next couple of days. You do see that because it's not as rainy and it's a little dry out there, you're going to see a lot fire weather conditions, so sparks and little like fire things could really amp up over there. But we will see an improvement where there are more rain showers in these areas. Something that came out today, though, is our drought monitor. Comes out every Thursday, and we did see some bit of an improvement on the western part of the country. But we're going to see more improvement as this monsoon continues on for the next couple of days, and then you're going to see these drought conditions try to peter out and get a little better for those folks there, and those fire weather warnings would come down with it as well. Looking at the next 24 hours, look at all that high pressure, look at those clear skies. Well, that's going to continue. And as we look at this frontal system, it'll move eastward, the one over by Ohio. It's going to kind of dissipate, so you're not going to see a lot of strong storms. And then that big front, the stalled out one we've been talking about, well, it's crunching up and just kind of dissipating. Though you're going to still see a lot of moisture situated on the eastern part of the country, a lot of upper level clouds sticking around with that. Looking at tomorrow, you're not going to see much of a change. It's a little similar kind of a day. We're going to start to see a bigger pattern coming up later on, though. You do see rain conditions on the eastern part, clearer and drier conditions, and a lot of heat on the western or the Midwest. And then farther west, staying the same. A cool, comfortable summer over in San Francisco and Los Angeles. But here's the big pattern change. Right now, we do have thunderstorms and humid air on the eastern part with a high pressure system located off the Atlantic, and then you have this cooler air with that low pressure system dropping the front. We have the jet stream sticking down into it. This is going to change when we have the drier air. But then as we go into the next couple of into this weekend, you do have the high pressure off the Atlantic come in and clear things out for us here. and then you have the hotter air, but the Midwest actually is seeing a lot of that humid air as well. And then the western northeast is actually going to see, northwest, sorry, is going to see cooler air come into them and feel not like summer, more like fall in the summer. So now let's give it over to Richard, take a look at Florida.
Yeah, thanks, Dylan. Take a look at things in Florida here. The current temperature is currently Thursday, 6:11 p.m. Pensacola seeing temperatures right at 79 degrees. Tallahassee, 77 degrees. A little bit cooler here in north-south Florida. Here we go. Current dew points. We have 70. This is the temperature at which dew forms. I wanted to remind you about that. This is 74 in Tallahassee, 72 in Pensacola. Down here, it's feeling quite humid in Tampa right now. And current heat index. This is when you account for the humidity. 78 in Tallahassee, 82 in Pensacola. That's what it actually feels like. That's what the temperature it feels like up there. Wind speed and direction. We've got a wide range of direction here. The wind coming in off the Gulf right here through Gainesville, 20 miles per hour. They're really getting a lot there. And we got satellite radar imagery. Wow, look at this. This is crazy. All this lightning right here, just west of Tampa, building up. Really coming, looks like it might move into Florida here in the next few hours here. Satellite radar. In the next 24 hours here, as we move through into tomorrow, the showers and thunderstorms will dissipate. And then we have those normal afternoon showers that come through and build up. Tonight's forecast, 70 degrees in Tallahassee, 73 in Pensacola. And we have 79 in Miami, 82 in Key West. A little bit warmer down in Key West there. And tomorrow's forecast, as you can see, we have 85 in Tallahassee, 89 in Gainesville, 88 in Miami. They're seeing those warmer temperatures down there. That's normal for that time of year. And we'll go ahead and hand things off to Dylan with National. There we go.
No, I'm going to take a look at the local. We're wrapping up. It's the end of the semester, and we're going to see what your last day of summer classes is actually going to look like. Right now, though, 77 degrees. We are going to see some rain showers really kick into our area. You'll see on the satellite and radar these showers coming in just about now. It feels like only 78 degrees, so not much of a difference. Still moisture plenty throughout, and you see all these clouds on our FSU weather stem as of now at 6:13. Looking at our current temperatures around the region, pretty cool throughout, but not a good cool, as I've said before. It's a moistury cool, so it's not the best, but it's not blazing hot as we've seen the last couple of days. Moisture, plenty throughout our region. All in the 70s, still feeling very, very moist outside. Not a good feeling, but we're going to see some improvement a little bit later on. And then as we look at the wind speeds, dominantly out of the south right now, and with those southerly winds, you're bringing in more moisture from the Gulf, and that's really what's keeping us moist and bringing a lot of these storms with it. A lot of rain due to the southerly flow and the moisture off the Gulf. These are going to change with that approaching front moving off to our west. Here's those showers I'm talking about right now. You see in Wakulla County, moving into Leon County right now. These heavier bit of showers. You want to have your raincoat if you're watching this right now at 6:13, but if you're not, you're going to still see rain showers throughout the entirety of the region. It's just a hit or miss, but there are big blankets of rain. Just like look at this pocket of rain moving up, and it's going to continue through the rest of the night. Zooming out just a bit, we do have 2 flood warnings in Wakulla County. These are due to these river levels really rising up, expiring at 2 p.m. on Sunday and 1:38 p.m. on Saturday for that other one. For the next 24 hours, you do see rain stick around through our region, though less than we've seen the last couple of nights. And as we get back into tomorrow, well, there's still rain, but it's a lot less than what we've seen. So if you are moving out, it's a better day to move out tomorrow than it was today. And it's your last day if you're taking finals. For tonight, though, you want to enjoy your last night in Tallahassee, 73 degrees. Not too bad, but still a 60% chance of rain. Sorry, this is supposed to be 60. So a very rainy night tonight, still possible. Wind's not too big of a factor. But for tomorrow, looking at 60% chance of rain, 87 degrees. So another kind of warm day. We're getting back to those warmer temperatures. We actually set a record today for the lowest, or so far right now, the lowest high temperature we've seen so far. Though thunderstorms are still possible, want to keep that raincoat with you. A little more prevalent than our typical pattern. Then looking at our golf forecast, Richard was telling me that he was actually really good at mini golf. He hit 2 hole-in-ones at night, and so not a good golf day as well. So you might want to do indoor mini golfing if that's an option for you. And then looking at the 7-day forecast, rain chances kind of high tomorrow with 60% chance of rain, but then Saturday, hey, we're getting back into normal patterns with only a 30% chance of rain. And you folks, you're all leaving Tallahassee probably because it's the end of the summer semester. You want to follow us on social media. We're coming back in the fall for our shows. We'll have those dates up on our social media as well. For all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith. Have a great night.